2 months ago, a 13-year-old boy alleged that superstar Michael Jackson had sexually abused him. As the world's press bayed for blood, the Jackson family and friends rallied round, protesting Michael's innocence. Only Michael's elder sister, Toya, prevaricated. For years, she's been the only Jackson to admit that everything in the family garden is not rosy. For this, she's been condemned as a publicity seeker. Is Toya Jackson simply out for herself? Or is she the only Jackson brave enough to tell the truth? Tonight, her record must survive a critical examination by Darcus Howe, the devil's advocate.
Toya Jackson has a case to answer. I am the devil's advocate, and tonight Toya Jackson is with me in the studio. I want to tell you two stories, both about a poor black American family from a small town called Gary in Indiana. The first story is about a family of 9 children who, through talent, hard work, and the assistance of strict parents, made it to the top of the American show business world. It's a tale of how love, discipline, and devout Christian values brought success beyond their wildest dreams. It's the story told by the most successful member of that family, the inimitable son, Michael, in this book, Moonwalker. And I quote, "My father did always protect us, and that's no small feat. He always tried to make sure people didn't cheat us. He looked after our interests in the best ways. He might have made a few mistakes along the way, but he always thought he was doing right for his family. And of course, most of what my father helped us accomplish was wonderful and unique." The other story I want to tell you is about a family of 9 children who had talent but made it to the top because of terror and violence from parents driven by ambition. Despite their incredible success, these children have been so damaged by an ugly family life that they will never really be able to enjoy the fruits of their success. That's the story told in this book by another member of the family, Michael's sister, Toya. And I quote, "I can still see my father standing in the living room, whip in hand. If someone missed a dance step, crack. Sometimes after Joseph had attacked one of the guys, leaving him gasping for breath and doubled over in pain, Mother cried, 'It's just not worth it, Joe. Just forget it. The boys don't have to be singers.' These two books look pretty similar, don't they? But they tell two very different tales of the same time and the same place. Whichever way you look at it, the Jackson story offers a route out of the ghetto for black Americans. For that reason, the truth is crucial. But while Michael's book, to me, reveals very little, Toya explores realms of family life that no one else has attempted to tackle. What concerns me about it is why she wrote what she wrote. Her family tried to stop her publishing. Why did they? Was she telling the truth? Or was she misrepresenting the reality of one of the most famous families in American history? And there is still more to come. When her brother Michael was accused of sexually abusing a young boy, all the family except Toya rallied round. She alone of the entire Jackson clan refused to stand by her brother. I cannot escape the suspicion, I suppose nor can you, that she may be seeking publicity. Where does the truth lie? This is the question I want to address tonight with Toya Jackson. Now, Toya, have you read Michael's book?
Moonwalker, yes.
Did he read your book?
That's a question you would have to ask him. He called me on the phone and said, "Thank you very much for writing such wonderful things about me and not saying anything bad."
What did you think of his book?
I thought his book basically dealt with his career, the career of the Jackson 5, the way they began, the way they started, basically their success. It had a lot to do with each record and album sell, how many they sold, and it was a very technical book in that sense.
He did speak about his father, didn't he?
Well, he said the father was very rude. He said the father was very abusive. He did say these things in the book.
He said these were a few mistakes along the way. A few mistakes along the way, but overall, he seemed to be saying it very clearly that these weren't damaging to any great degree, but they were mistakes, and they were mistakes made in the best interest of all of you. Your book is fundamentally different, isn't it?
In that sense, my father, when he raced with Jackson 5 and tried to form them into a group, he did what he felt was right. And that's also, you will find that in my book as well. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right because he felt that it was right.
You think it was wrong?
Well, of course I do. I think even if someone continues to beat children until they're abused or you see the webs all over their body, and that's not right. However, he thought it was okay because they should continue to perform to perfection, and that's what he wanted.
Okay.
And like Michael said, he was doing it for the best interest of them, and I feel the same way. But he went about it the wrong way. You don't do it that way.
Tell me, what sort of things did he do? Tell me.
The father.
Yeah. Tell us. What?
Well, gosh, there's so many. You could never fall asleep. If you fell asleep, my father would actually take a match, and he would burn your toes. And you'd wake up and you'd find your toes burning. And you couldn't say anything to him because he was very, very strict. You couldn't say stop it or no. You would just have to sit there and take it. And he would have the match to your toes.
What else did he do?
Until the day I left home, my father would always put guns to our heads. And he would play Russian roulette. He would pull the trigger and he would laugh constantly. And my mother would sit there and watch him.